One common criticism leveled at pro-lifers is that we're pro-life until you're born. This catchphrase is meant to point out a supposed hypocrisy in the pro-life viewpoint. Basically, it says that pro-lifers don't really care about life after all. So is it true? Well, the first and easiest way to answer this character attack is just to say, no way! The pro-life side cares all about babies after they're born. It's one of the reasons pro-lifers say we protect life from conception until natural death. All people, without exception, come under the purview of the pro-life cause in various ways. In fact, that's it. It's enough to simply swipe aside ad hominem strawmen when they come. But let's get more sophisticated. First, let's talk about what people mean when they accuse pro-lifers of not caring about already born people. Why would they say this? Part of the accusation is that pro-lifers do nothing for babies who are not aborted. In addition, pro-lifers get accused of not being compassionate to women. What these charges ignore is the massive network of pro-life crisis pregnancy centers run by dedicated and compassionate activists who counsel women experiencing a crisis pregnancy to choose life and accept a new member of their family. After the baby is born, these centers help with adoption services for those women who can't provide for a baby. In reality, pro-lifers are showing consistent compassion and love for both women and their babies throughout their lifetimes. In another accusation, sometimes pro-lifers are asked, "How many kids have you adopted?" In truth, many pro-life families, especially religious ones, have adopted children from around the world or from within the United States. Even already large pro-life families adopt children at high rates. And this is also an especially great way for pro-life couples struggling with fertility to show their commitment to helping children in need. Thus, it's not surprising that, as estimates have it, for every baby up for adoption in the US, there are up to 36 couples waiting to adopt. That number of couples is between 1 and 2 million. Meanwhile, there are a little fewer than 1 million abortions each year in the US. That means there are more than enough couples to adopt both all the children currently up for adoption and all the children who are aborted. The assumption in asking, "How many kids have you adopted?" is that there are not enough adopters for adoptees. This is just plain not true. The question itself, though often asked accusatorily, is not even relevant. Adoption is by no means an ideal situation for a child, but it sure beats being killed before you've had a chance to be born. That is why pro-lifers advocate for it. Of course, we would prefer if every woman could support her own baby with the father in a loving nuclear family. Adoption is not the catch-all solution pro-lifers are seeking, only a last resort. We hope it won't be necessary. But adopting is also not the only way to care for people, and pro-lifers, even those who don't adopt, do so in many other ways. This flies in the face of another facet of the pro-life until birth accusation, namely that pro-lifers do not support people in the sense of general welfare, only the preborn. Basically, it is an attack on the values of pro-lifers, who tend to be socially conservative or religious. Many conservative policies are not in favor of government-forced programs to provide welfare or poverty relief. Thus, some argue that pro-lifers don't care about the people who are living outside the womb. But a stance against government-run programs does not mean a stance against charitable action and giving. Quite the opposite. A study from 2017 in the Chronicle of Philanthropy showed that 12 of the 13 states highest in average individual giving tended to vote Republican, including Utah at the top and many Bible Belt states. Conversely, 11 of the bottom 12 states tended to vote Democrat. Additionally, many of the former states are among the most religious, and many of the latter are among the least religious, according to Pew Research. That means there is a tendency among religious and conservative people to give more to charity. These religious and conservative people are also often pro-life. Catholics in particular tend to shine in this area. The Catholic Church, the largest pro-life group in the world, operates over a quarter of all healthcare facilities in the entire world, including tens of thousands of hospitals, clinics, orphanages, pharmacies, and centers for those with special needs, leprosy, and other conditions. In addition, the Church operates countless centers and programs for the homeless. Various Christian, Jewish, and religious pro-life groups operate many more hospitals and health centers and provide for the homeless. don't forget about those adoption centers either. It sounds like pro-lifers care a lot about people who've been born already. And this makes sense, precisely because most pro-lifers are socially conservative and religious. Taking a position in favor of personal, private giving rather than government programs will tend to lead to more personal, private effort. And above all, God's call to help the poor, sick, and suffering requires a response from true believers. Of course, there are hypocrites in the pro-life movement, like in every large group of people. Some people, including certain public figures, have failed to live up to their own pro-life, pro-family values. This is a shame, but it's far from the norm. As a Catholic organization faithful to the teachings of the Church, Human Life International takes Jesus Christ as its standard, an infinitely good standard. There's no way we can measure up, but we will always be committed to the defense of human life and family, and we will never back down from defending life from conception until natural death. That means in the womb, in the cradle, throughout life, and to the grave. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to tap the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay connected to the conversation. Thanks for watching!